G'day, I'm Fae le Friz. I'm an author in outback Western Queensland, and I just got back from Books in Paradise, which was a brand new book event happening up in Port Douglas. Port Douglas is not close to Western Queensland. That is far North Queensland, and it is now the furthest north I have ever been. So I've put together my spendings and my makings from my sales. And unfortunately, financially, it did not go the way I hoped that it would. So I'm gonna let you know the numbers, and then we're gonna go from there. So for a I needed accommodation in Cairns, Port Douglas, and then Atherton as I was coming home. And so I paid $136.49 in Cairns, $532 for one night in Port Douglas. That one hurt. And then $129 in Atherton, which then became another additional $107. We're still sorting that one out because I thought I had already paid them, because I booked through the Qantas app so I could get frequent flyer points, because I was like, well, may as well get something good out of this. So before adding, so my total should have been $797.49 for a com, plus our extra 107. We then have our fuel. So we fueled up before we left home, and that was $136.86. We fueled up again. That was oh no, sorry, I've put these in the wrong order. Anyway, it's $136.86, $139.70, $70.46, and then two lots of $50 on the nose, because I had to pay with cash, and I was like, no, we've got these bills, so we're going to use them, so we are bang on the money. So we'll do the math for that one right here. Yep. Okay. So that's our figure. That's how much we spent getting to Port Douglas. We then, of course, had the cost of the table, which happy to pay. Like, that was, good money. Lots of networking opportunities, met a lot of online friends in person for the first time. I met TM Clark, who was so lovely. Tina was so lovely. And we met the night before at like the author meet and greet, like the get together kind of a thing that they had. And we were like introducing ourselves to another author there, Deb, and Deb's like, and how long have you known each other? And I was like, hi, I'm Fae le Friz. This is TM Clark. This is my emotional support author. We met 10 minutes ago. So I just looked sad and lost. So TM was just like, come here. And I was like, yes, please. Anyway, so there's our expenditures. I then sold one copy of A Spot of Bother, one copy of 40 Love of Bread. I sold a bundle, which was a copy of each book. And then I traded 2 books. So I traded 2 copies. I think it was 2 copies of A Spot of Bother. I think they were both ASOB. Traded 2 of those for other people's books. And then I also donated 2 books as thank yous for the volunteers, for all the hard work and effort that they put into the event. And, kudos to them. They did well. So that's 7 books. No, that can't be right. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 books. There we go. 8 books. Half of them I didn't make back on. I did 1 tarot reading. I sold a candle, and I sold a copy of the Outback Anthology Volume 11 for the Outback Writers Festival, which is great. That's great. So I made negative money at this book event. Which did surprise me. Surprised me a lot, because I was like, It's far North Queensland. Tarot readings, candles, bookmarks, which I took, stubby coolers, groovy earrings. I was like, hell yeah, like, you know, I'm going to sell so much of this, like, because the candles are new. They're tiny and adorable. These are made wholesale for me by the Little Crafty Creations. They're local girls. They're so clever. And like, I was anticipating having to hide the last one because one of my sister-in-laws wanted one. I was anticipating having to hide one so that I would still have one for my sister-in-law to get, or else giving her the, you know, the tester which is that one there. As I said, I only sold the one candle. I don't know if that's because I was in the naughty room, which is what we were jokingly calling ourselves, because we were in a room off to the side instead of out in the main thoroughfare like a lot of the other authors were. I don't think I can blame it on that though, because another author who was opposite me, she did really, really well. Like, she said she was surprised by how well she had done, because she does biography. So she's like, did not see this coming. I was like, okay. I mean, you've got biographies and I've got Australiana. You know, like, it was more of a romance geared event. So, you know, you wouldn't expect either biography, like family biographies or Australiana, to do well for that one. So I don't think I can blame it on the naughty room. I think I should probably be blaming it on my genre, because I did have a lot of people like walk by and stop and look at things and pick things up, but yes. So it was not the financial success that I was hoping it would be. I still had fun. If I do it again, I think I will try and make sure that I've got someone with me, so that I've got a second driver, because yeah, there was a lot of driving to do on my own, and especially a lot of city driving. I'm not a city person. I'm not from the city. I don't like city driving. I didn't have a great time with that. Saw a car accident, so I was even less okay with the driving after that, because I was just like, yep. So there was that. But I think if I'd had somebody else, so that I could have spent the drive doing productive things, so like taking photos, or, well, not that that's productive, but there was like watching the biomes change. That was really cool. I would have liked, you know, photographic or videographic evidence of that. But also, like, I could have been doing social media for my author accounts, and I could have been doing, you know, I could have been writing, I could have been knitting, but I was just, you know, I spent the whole time driving. I was pretty frazzled. I ended up leaving some things in my accommodation back in Cairns, which haven't gotten back to me, so I don't think I'm going to get those back. So there's that. It was good fun, and I think if I'd had somebody else and I could have made it more of like a, you know, like had more time away, if that makes sense. Like, if I could have had the time to dawdle and could have had the time to have a writer's retreat, like, I think I would have really had a great time. I think I would have had a phenomenal time, and it probably would have been worth it even without making the financial returns. But I didn't. So we'll see how we go. I don't know. I don't know if I'll go back. I think there'd have to be something pretty compelling and pretty convincing. Like, I was one of the panelist speakers on the Love and Loss in the Australian Landscape panel, and I was talking with Greg Burke, who was the other panelist on that one, and he got quite a fair few sales out of having done the panel, which is great. But notably, his table was in the main thoroughfare and I wasn't, so I'm like, maybe that did it. But also, like, he had a bit more of a clear cut genre. He talked more than I did. Anyway, it could be any reason, it could be every reason, so like, there's no point beating yourself up over it. I'm going to, because that's what I'm like as a person. But that's not on Books on Paradise. That's on me. That's solely on me. So, see how we go. If you like the idea of Muster Dogs meets 101 Dalmatians with some boarding school shenanigans sprinkled on top, or if you like the idea of a rom-com between two bakers in an Outback bakery, you should check out my books at faelefriz.com. Please buy my stuff. Okay, bye.